Welcome to Core Guns Today for July 18th, 2019. This is the show where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of core cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, in the show notes down below, I'll put a link to each story in the order we talk about them so you can read about them for yourself. If you are new here, hey, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing here. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Real quick, hey, I hear from a lot of people like, hey, I came here because I saw a particular story in the title and I just want to hear about that. A couple ways to do that. Link in the show notes to that particular story, but they're also in order. So I'll give you an idea of where in this video these will be. Still working on a way, we're going to try to add in the future the ability to have timestamps there for particular stories. But check out the show notes. I also put them on the first comment if you want to just kind of like, oh, hey, it's the last story. Let me jump forward in the video to find out the story I'm looking for. Because we have a lot to talk about today. All right, first though, before we get into the news, we have some deals, and Roku is still honoring their Prime Day pricing. So you can get a Roku Ultra for $69. Best Roku pricing since Black Friday last year. Highly recommend you check this out. If you've been thinking about getting a Roku, I got some to give away as Christmas presents. Link in the show notes down below there for that. All right, news of the day, because we have a lot. Right off the bat, Netflix subscriber growth has slowed down, and they had a less than stellar second quarter 2019. Now, a couple factors went into this. A lot of people are blaming Netflix in the United States had basically flat, less than 1% drop in subscriber. Around the world, they had subscriber growth, just not as much as expected. Now, for the United States, people have been saying, hey, HBO Max or Disney Plus and NBC Universal, Apple TV Plus's streaming services are the likely cause. I'm not quite buying into that yet. Now, I do believe that they very well could cause subscribers to leave Netflix in the future. But I think most people are not leaving Netflix now because the new services haven't come out yet. Why cancel Netflix today if you plan to get Disney Plus in November when it's not November yet? So I think this more has to do with the price hike. I think this more has to do with maybe the content they're producing, maybe not connecting with people as well. Netflix says they expect it to return to growth next quarter. So the 2013 one we're in right now, it seems reasonable. Stranger Things is coming out. Other big Netflix hit shows are coming out this quarter. So it's very reasonable to expect that we'll see Netflix's subscriber numbers return to growth. Now, what will happen after HBO Max and NBC Universal happen next year? Apple TV still reportedly happening this year. Disney Plus still reportedly happening this year. Comes out, we'll wait and see. So it'll be very interesting to see how this goes. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. What did you cancel Netflix? If you did cancel Netflix, why did you cancel Netflix? I'd love to hear from you. All right, some Hulu news real quick. Hulu is ending support for older LG TVs. LG TVs running Hulu version app 1.1, which is the 2014 LG TV model and older. So older LG smarter TVs will be losing the Hulu app on the 24th of July. This comes as Hulu is getting ready to roll out an updated user app to devices like the Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV. It seems that Hulu is going out there and saying, hey, which devices are most likely to get our readers or get our viewers usage? So they're saying, hey, that device is not used very much, so we're going to go and use this device or that device. So keep that in mind. They also dropped support for DVD and Blu-ray players. That'll be rolling out, ending support over the next couple months. And even hotels. They used to have an app through the Enzio smart TV system, which is, if you ever walked into a hotel, you probably saw many hotels now have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, etc. on their TVs. Hulu pulled off their app off of Enzio also. Hopefully these will return. Vizio lost their app recently, and it later returned, so keep that in mind. But just an FYI, if you own one of these older TVs or Blu-ray player, etc. you're using, you may want to consider getting like a cheap Roku or something. One other quick piece of news, Hulu is adding NASA TV to their live TV service tomorrow on Friday. It is coming, the July 19th. Now, this was announced by NASA. We don't know a lot of details about it, other than that it's coming tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe some other channels will come to Hulu tomorrow. We'll wait and see. But keep an eye if you're a Hulu Live TV subscriber, it's coming there. And I do get it, it's free on many devices. My expectation, why is this here? It's probably because it's cheap for them. They may throw them just a little bit of money. But just one more thing in the center app, you don't need a second app to now access NASA if you have Hulu with Live TV. All right, so let me know, how important is that? Do you like having them all in one, or is it just something you don't care about? Let me know. Speaking of streaming services and TV services, AT&T's been getting a lot of news about dropping the locals. CBS may be losing CBS-owned locals on DirecTV Now. Nexstar locals are leaving, or have left for now 2 weeks, AT&T services. Now Dish is getting into the act. Meredith-owned locals have been dropped on Dish Network. Again, a contract dispute. Dish is offering the ability to have antennas for free to affected customers in those markets. But I wanted to talk about, not necessarily a cord cutting story, but I wanted to talk about this in general, because what I'm hearing is Dish and AT&T and others are saying, hey, our subscriber numbers are going down, our revenue is going down because of that, but these local TV stations still want more money. They're saying, hey, give us more, even though we're getting less now. So they're pushing back. And it's kind of turning into a technology fight here a little bit. Dish is saying, hey, here's an antenna. AT&T is saying, hey, use Locast and more. So keep that in mind with this, that this is about cord cutting a lot. This is about cord cutting's impact on the market. This is about cord cutting taking subscribers from traditional basis. This idea that, hey, subscriber numbers will always go up, we'll always be able to get more money, just isn't true anymore. It's just not the reality of what's happening in the world of cord cutting, in the world of TV right now. So I'd love to know, how important are these drops to you? Was this ever a part of a decision for you to become a cord cutter? Was DirecTV or Comcast or Spectrum losing some channels in a blackout something that pushed you to become a cord cutter? I'd love to hear from you. All right, couple quick stories here. Just wanted to make you aware of. First of all, one of the main questions I get a lot is, hey Luke, how did you get an antenna on your Roku? This is a Roku TV behind me that allows people to connect an antenna directly to the TV, like all TVs, and have this little antenna icon. It's pretty cool. It does a lot of cool things. If you put a USB stick in there, you can actually pause live TV for up to 90 minutes. But you can actually watch live TV streaming through your Roku players too, using a device like a Tableau DVR, an HD Home Run, a Clearstream, a Air TV, and more. We have a full post on how to do this down below. If you want to be able to stream your antenna, so people say, why didn't you include Locast? This is about particularly how to watch your antenna, the one in your home on your Roku. We've talked about Locast a lot, so just clarification there. But if you've been wondering, how can I actually go and watch my antenna without having to change inputs, stream it out to maybe multiple Rokus, which is the cool thing of a lot of these devices, have a DVR, which a lot of them do, and more, check out the post in the show notes down below. Also, one thing to make people aware of, PlayStation Vue and the NFL Network have until the end of July to strike a new deal. The warning message is up. Remember, we talked a lot about this last month because a ton of networks, including Discovery, NBC, Universal, and more, Warner, were all having to renegotiate. Sony successfully got deals, but it resulted in a $5 price hike for Sony PlayStation Vue customers. Now, I do not expect a price hike here, though I do think maybe a blackout will be a little bit more likely for one outside reason. NFL is negotiation with DirecTV about the fact that they want to pull back Sunday ticket rights. I'm not sure if that may delay NFL's side of the negotiations here. Unlikely, but some people have talked about the NFL holding off on rights with the idea that maybe if they don't strike a deal with AT&T to keep it there for the last 2 years of the contract, they may start shopping it around to other places to get the NFL Sunday ticket. Not this year, but starting next year. I don't think that's going to delay the NFL and PlayStation Vue striking a deal. I do think they'll get a deal done. If it does go dark, I would be shocked if by the start of the NFL season, if the NFL Network is not back on PlayStation Vue. So I wouldn't worry about it, but since Sony has a massive warning about it on their website, I do feel it's prudent for us to talk about it and make people aware of the fact that there is the possibility of it going dark, so that, you know, tomorrow morning you don't wake up and the NFL Network's gone and you're wondering why. So just keep in mind, plenty of time. NFL preseason doesn't start until next month, so hopefully they get this taken care of now before the end of the month. All right, last story up of the day, and I wanted to cover part of this. I'll let you read the rest if you're interested. But 5 cord cutting tips for new cord cutters. These are 5 tips I find that new cord cutters make common mistakes on, so I wanted to cover. Number 1, do not rush into cord cutting. The number 1 mistake new cord cutters make is calling your cable provider, calling your satellite provider, canceling, and then you run around like, hey, let's figure this out. That's when you make the most mistakes, because now you're trying to decode what's happening here, instead of being able to say, hey, you know, I did my research, I prepared everything, and then I canceled. My wife and I, we set everything up. We decided actually for a month before we canceled cable TV, let's just try this. Before we canceled, called Direct TV and say, hey, we're done. Let's try this out and see if it works. After about 2 weeks, we had everything all set. We knew where everything was. We're like, yeah, this is for us. It gives us everything we want and more for a lot less money. Then we unplugged the cable box, called DirecTV, canceled, and it was gone. So do your research. It makes for a far smoother one. It prevents you from overpaying. You know, when people are in a hurry, they're buying whatever antennas on the market now. They're buying whatever services they can. They're probably going to overpay than if you take your time and you do your research. So keep that in mind. Number 2, don't be afraid to only subscribe to a service for part of the year. Many people get into the mindset of cable TV. I have cable, I pay for it all year. If I want to watch NFL, I need a 2-year contract, right? With streaming, you can easily say, hey, NFL is going to start in August. I'm going to start paying for PlayStation View in August. When NFL season's over, I'm going to cancel it. Don't be afraid to pay just when you want it. Keep that in mind. And don't be afraid to shop around. Don't be afraid to jump between services. You're not locked in. You can easily go from YouTube to Hulu to back to YouTube in a minute. So just keep that all in mind. Those are 2 of the 5 tips. I'd love to hear your tips. Do you have any cord cutting tips for new cord cutters you think will help them? Leave us a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you are a new cord cutter, I highly encourage you to read the 5 tips in the show notes down below, because hopefully they'll help you break free from the high-cost cable TV and still watch the shows that you enjoy. All right, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you back tomorrow with another cord cutting today. Later today for a Cord Cutting This Week podcast with Jess and I, where we dive in for about a full hour this week. We'll be posting that later today. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. If you've been here a while, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. We would really appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow for another Cord Cutting Today. Take care. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.